Hey there, Mr. Chu here. I want to welcome all the SAT review students. This is my fifth video from Module 3. So let's get to our review for the SAT. So there's 3 problems in this video. And I've already done Module 1 and Module 2. They each have 27 problems each. And so all these problems have been released by the College Board for review for the SAT. They could be good at review for the ACT and the ASVAB as well. Some will be easy, some will be hard. They use background knowledge in algebra, geometry, and your other math classes you took in high school. Topics vary from question to question, and I do not order them based on the the topic. I list them just as they're listed in the practice test 1 to 27. So you can like this video if it's helpful. Follow me. I'm on all TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X social media sites. I do have other videos you can watch, including lots of puppy videos. I want you to subscribe right now if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel so you can see more of my math videos. There are subscribe links in various places on the videos. You can also type in this long link and put it in a browser. You can get there as well. I do have an email address for students that want to contact me, ask me math questions, request certain videos. It's askmrchu@gmail.com. Let's get to our 3 questions in this video. You can always pause the video and work the problem out on a piece of paper, see if you did it right. 15 and 16 are both multiple choice questions. Number 15 is a word problem. A candle is made of 17 ounces of wax. When the candle is burning, the amount of wax in the candle decreases by 1 ounce every 4 hours. That's called a conversion factor. If 6 ounces of wax remain in this candle, for how many hours has it been burning? So you're trying to figure out how long it's been burning in hours. So the first thing you have to do is you have to subtract the beginning amount of wax, which is how much we started with, the 17, from the amount after the candle was lit that had burned. So it says 6 ounces remain. So we're going to take our 17 ounces minus 6 ounces to how much burned. 17 minus 6 is 11. So 11 ounces of wax melted. It didn't really burn. The candle burned, the wax melted. So the wax didn't actually burn. So we have to assign a variable. So we'll say let H represent the number of hours that it melted, H for hours. And since 1 ounce of wax melts every 4 hours, that's a conversion factor, you can write a ratio. And that ratio is written in a way you put the 1 ounce over the 4 hours, and then it equals, we got to put how many ounces we started with, 11 ounces over H hours. So you have to be consistent. See how I've got ounce and hours and H for hours over here? Well, how do you solve an proportion? This is called a proportion. A ratio equaling a ratio is a proportion. How do you solve a proportion? You cross multiply. So I cross multiply and I take and make an X. So I usually, when I would be teaching this to my pre-algebra and algebra students, I'd say, you're going to make an X. 1 ounce times H, give me my 1 ounce H here, equals 4 hours times 11 ounces. And now I'm just going to solve that for hours after I simplify it. Okay, so when we simplify it, you have H ounces equals, so I've got H ounces. H times 1 is H. And we got H. You wouldn't say H ounce. You'd say H ounces equals 4 times 11 is 44 hours times ounces. So what are we trying to find here? We're trying to find what H equals. So how would you get rid of ounces? Well, H times ounces, the inverse of that would be to divide. So I would divide both sides. So I've got H ounces over ounces. So I divide both sides by ounces. And look what happens. The ounces here cancel. The ounces cancel. And then I've got H, which is what I want to find, equals 44 hours. So H equals 44 hours. It happens to be choice D. Hopefully you're able to get that right. And some people can do it more quickly once they see it. All right, number 16. Pause this if you need to work it. I have an equation, 14j plus 5k equals m, and it says the given equation relates the numbers j, k, and m. Which equation correctly expresses k in terms of j and m? So in other words, we're solving for k. This has a special name, and my algebra students, when I was teaching in brick and mortar, always struggled with problems like this. So what is an equation that you're solving like this and solving for a variable k? So you notice that each one of them has k equals. Then they all have the m's and the j's in there. The special name they use for this equation is called a literal equation. And literal equations seem to be hard for students because you're not solving for a number. You're solving for an algebraic expression with all the variables in it, k, m, and j. So I'm going to solve the equation using inverse operations. Solving an equation where many variables remain is called solving a literal equation. So I've got 14j plus 5k equals m. So now I'm going to solve for k. So I use the subtraction property of equality and I subtract 14j from both sides. Because since I'm solving for k, I've got to get rid of the plus 14j. And you do that by subtracting 14j from both sides. It's going to cross out and be 0 plus 5k over here. And on the left and on the right, I'm going to have m minus 14j. So I have 5k equals m minus 14j when I simplified it. Now I've got to get rid of multiplying by 5. So the inverse of multiplying by 5 is dividing both sides by 5 using the division POE, property of equality. Well, when I do that and simplify it, these 5s are going to cancel. And then I have k equals, which is what I wanted. And that's what the multiple choice looks like. And it ends up being choice A when I simplify it. Hopefully you're able to get choice A correctly. All right, so now we'll go to number 17. 17 is another multiple choice question. It says triangle FGH is similar to triangle JKL, where angle F corresponds to angle J, and angles G and K are right angles. If the sine of F equals 308 over 317, what's the value of the sine of J? So I just now realized that G and K have to be right angles, so my figures may be wrong and I may have to redraw them. So if that's the case, be patient with me and I will redraw them, okay? So you have to know something about corresponding angles or the corresponding angles in similar triangles, and you have to know something about the sine function. So if two triangles are similar, then their corresponding angles are congruent. Well, it says that F corresponds to J, and we know that's true because see how F is the very first one listed? and J is the first one listed. And then we know that G and K correspond, H and L correspond. And that's just things that you learned in your geometry class. So since angle F corresponds to angle J, then I can conclude that angle F is congruent to angle J, which means the measure of angle F is equal to the measure of angle J. So their degree measures are going to be the same. The sine ratios of angles that are the same size are going to be equal as well. So since it gives me the sine of F is 308 over 17, I know that the sine of angle J will be the same, 308 over 317. So the first thing I'd say is right now is it's B. But if you need more than that, if you didn't know that the sine ratios were the same, I could say the sine of F is equal to sine of J. I could look at these two triangles. It says that G and K are, I lucked out here. So if we're talking about angle F here in triangle FGH, and I talk about the sine being 308, then you have to think of what does sine mean? Well, the sine of an angle is the side opposite over the hypotenuse. Well, the side opposite will be 308 over here. That's the side opposite. Boom, right there. 308. That is what is in the numerator here. Then we have the hypotenuse, which is the side across from the right angle, is 317. So corresponding sides are going to be congruent on similar triangles. So I know that this is still going to be 317 and this will be 308. So I know that B is the answer. So that reviews a little bit of geometry, trigonometry, and a little bit of similar triangles from geometry. Okay, so make sure you follow me. I am on all the social media sites. Got lots of videos there. I actually post these long videos on X as well. Sometimes I post them on my Facebook, and I seldom put the long ones on Instagram or TikTok, but I have other videos there. So remember, I've got playlists that have links to 27 problems from Module 1, 27 problems from Module 2. I do have the long link here to my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe. There are subscription buttons everywhere on this video. If you want to email me, send the email to askmrchu@gmail.com. I'll answer your math questions and make videos for you if you tell me what you want me to make the videos about. Help me spread the word. I want to help students with math questions using videos. I have 3 actual what I call video curriculums. One's named after my soon to be 13-year-old Peekapoo. He's got a birthday this month, toward the end of the month. And that's my algebra, named after Bear. And then I've got a 3-year-old half Italian sheepdog, great big. He's a 120-pounder. And I call my geometry video curriculum after him. His name's Brack. I do have a 4-year-old tomcat that I've named my arithmetic and pre-algebra after. I have another shorter videos that I sometimes will post videos on called Math Minutes, which just has concepts in them. And then these are my SAT prep. So I will see you in the next video. And remember, I'm Mr. Chu, and I want to help you with your math, whether it be on the SAT, in algebra, in geometry, or any other specific math question you got. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.